Well, I never thought I'd be doing this. My name is Mo. If you've somehow stumbled upon this video or watching this video, hi. My name is Mustafa. You can call me Mo. And welcome to the Tears of a Bookie YouTube channel. I do not expect anyone to see this first video, at least for the time being. I haven't told any of my friends or family about this channel. And again, brand new channel, first video, so I don't know. But anyway, if someone were to tell me a year ago, or over a year ago, I guess, that in 1 year you're gonna start a YouTube channel, you're gonna be posting videos, I would just laugh at their face because I'm not into the whole social media or, content creating, content creator thing, putting out videos on YouTube. I'd never ever would have thought I'd be doing such a thing. But back then, I was never into the world of sports betting. I didn't really know even what it was. One of my friends got me into it, and at first, it was awful. I was losing everything, mostly because I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't really doing any research, just playing, just putting out plays with basically no research at all, and just a lot of parlays, multi-legged parlays, losing everything. I wanted to quit. But then I did more research. I started, placing bets that were smarter, made more sense. And I saw that there was a whole community for this sports betting thing. Some people who are just professional sports bettors and they actually beat the books. And I was like, man, this is interesting, right? Because you got all these bookies who are trying to come up with these odds and these come up with the odds that no one really wins, everybody's losing, but then there are some sharp sharp players or whatever that they are able to outsmart them and have a profitable season. It just got really addicting to me. And then I saw that on YouTube, there are just a lot of YouTube channels placing these bets and just talking about it. It seemed fun. And I thought that, man, if these guys are doing it, I can do it too. One of my friends sort of encouraged me to do it too. I don't know. Here I am right now. Let's see how this goes, really. Um, First time I'm ever doing something like this. And yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Two channels that really inspired me, I guess, on YouTube, Calling Our Shot and Just a Bet Outside. So shout out to them. But yeah, this is my first time. I don't even know what else to say. I'm a grad student right now, trying to finish grad school, but just doing this as a hobby, I think will be fun too. Plus, really watching sports these days, for me at least, without like having no bets on anything, is just not that fun anymore. I don't know. It can be frustrating when you place bets if you lose, but it can just be so much fun too. Anyway, that's enough of me just rambling and saying some BS. Let's get on with this. Before we start, though, I just want to say that um, I'm going to be trying to do this daily, and one thing is to expect odds that are even juiced up all the way to minus 250 because if I really like something, I'll just play it. Maybe I'll place more units on it or put it in a parlay. I don't know, but that's how this channel or the picks that I'm going to be giving out might be a little bit different compared to other channels because I'll go for the juicier ones a lot of the time. The second thing is that the main sportsbook that I use are DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, Bet365, and BetRivers. I don't think I'll really be using anything outside of these five, at least for the time being. And with that said, though, let's start and let me give out my first pick of this channel, of this whole journey. Who knows what'll happen, but let's just go for it. So just one pick today for this first video. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time learning how to just like slightly edit it, thumbnail, posting it on YouTube, all of that for the first time. So didn't really have time to come up with more bets, but again, it's the first day of the NBA season today. Tuesday, October 22nd, just two games. And my pick is going to be for the first game, the Celtics versus the Knicks. Now, I'm just going to start off by saying that until, you know, like after 2 weeks where each team has played approximately 10 games, we'll have a good data set to use for the next picks based on those 10 games. Right now, it's the start of the season. A lot of teams have changed, complete roster changes, and you'd never know how some players are going to be playing. They might be playing completely different than the way they were playing the previous season. So it's so for the time being, I think for the first until the second or third week, I'm just gonna be playing half unit plays. But of course, that might change sooner or later. But just for the beginning of the season, because most of the data we're going to be using for these picks is just based on the last season. So it's just going to be half unit plays for the time being. But with that being said, my first pick, only pick for today, the first day of the NBA season, is the Celtics, an alternative line spread or game spread or whatever the technical term for it is. I don't know. -3.5. Now, the odds for this are about in the -140, -150 range. You'll see it right here in text. I should put it when I'm editing this. But it's kind of juice. But the reason why I'm not playing the actual official spread is because we've seen throughout the years, especially last year where I just got into this, I saw that, man, a lot of the time these bookies come up with really sharp spreads. So you'll see that a lot of the picks that I'll be playing from now on and then until the end, they're going to be alternative picks. They're not going to be the main ones because, just to play it a bit safer. But why do I like this one here? Well, first of all, Celtics, obviously the reigning NBA champions, they have home court advantage and they're taking on the Knicks. The Celtics have pretty much the same roster. They've maintained the same roster, I think. But the Knicks, it's like two new players are in their starting rotation. I don't even know too much about the bench right now, but starting rotation, they have Mikal Bridges and Cat, Karl-Anthony Towns, my bad. But the Celtics starting five are the same. Now, we all know, we've seen this before, that when a team gets new players, particularly two new like main players that are going to be in the starting rotation, it's going to take some time for that team to really get in sync and play well with each other. So I really like the Celtics here. That's why the money line for the Celtics is minus, really juice, is -200 something. Um, so that's the first reason. Celtics, same roster. Knicks, they have two new players. It'll take some time for them to start playing really well, especially against the best teams in the league, like the Celtics. Now, some other things here. The Knicks do not have Achua and Mitchell Robertson. I know that those are bench players, but I think those are key role players, and they're out for this game. The Celtics don't have Porzingis, which he's a starter, but Horford is, of course, going to be playing for him in the starting lineup. And we saw last season, I know Horford is getting older, but we just saw that he's just able to play really well when starting. And even in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs, when Porzingis was out due to injuries, Horford was able to, just be really productive and help them win the championship. He's getting older, but I think, it's the start of the season. He's fresh. We should not have a concern regarding that. What's another reason? Well, the Celtics last year, they won the series against the Knicks in the regular season 4-1. So there's that too. And they were so dominant, the Celtics were, at their home stadium, home court. They were really, really good. So I expect them to be solid again for this season. And now let's just look at the preseason. I know that that's not really something to look at for, picking lines for the main season. But still, like, we should take a look at it. And I want to just take, first of all, both teams played, I think, 5 games in the preseason. The Knicks were facing really weak opponents compared to the Celtics. The Knicks faced the Washington Wizards, Charlotte Hornets, and Minnesota Timberwolves. These are the only 3 teams they faced, and they went 4-1. The Celtics went 4-1 too, but the Celtics faced the Nuggets, 76ers, and the Raptors twice, and they won 4 of these games. The only one they lost was at Toronto. Now, here's the thing that really made me pick this spread here. The Knicks lost to the Washington Wizards in Washington in their last preseason game. And here's the thing. They all of their five main players were starting and they played significant minutes. All of them played near 30 minutes. I think, it was the last game before the main season started. So the coach was trying to, find a rhythm going and give them good minutes, right? So they could, so the team could be in good shape come the regular season. But they couldn't beat the Wizards. And this is a Wizards team that we saw last year. They were the second worst team in the East after the Pistons, of course. And this year, for this game, they didn't even have like their main starting lineup. I think they just had, um, I don't know even who they had. They had Kuzma, I think, Valanciunas, their new player. Um, I think that's it though. The other players, most of the starting line, these players were not even in the NBA last year, and now they played for in this preseason game, and they were able to beat the Knicks. Now it was very close. They won just by 1 point, and of course it's the preseason, so teams might not be really trying. But again, it was the last game in the preseason, and you would think that with all of these players for the Knicks in the starting lineup, their five main players, and the minutes they played, Bridges 32, Towns 30, OG and Jalen Brunson 28, Josh Hart 25. You think that with these minutes, like they they were just the coach was just trying to get them in a good rhythm. So I think they took this last game in the preseason kind of seriously to prepare for the games that count in the season. And they couldn't beat this Washington Wizards team. Now, the Celtics also lost to Toronto, but come on. Toronto is, they're not a good team either, of course. I'm a Raptors fan. Unfortunately, the team is, they're probably not going to make the playoffs or the play in even this season, but they're still much better than the Wizards. Come on. Scotty Barnes is just, he's a rising um, all star player. But that being said, these are the main reasons that I just really like this spread. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a blowout because the Knicks always fight even when they're down. They especially, I think the last few years, the first game of the season, they've been really good the opening game. But I just gotta go with the Celtics here opening night and hope that they don't even have to cover the original -5.5 spread. Just cover this alternative -3.5 spread. Just win by 4 points or more, and we'll be good. So that's it for today. We'll see what happens. If you somehow saw this video, please, I would appreciate it if, just do all those YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.